guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video. Not only is it going to be a top 10 video, but this one is a special top 10 video. And that's because we're at, finally, my 1000th video. Still surprising to me that we've made it this far. I could be wrong. I'm still going to give some credit here. But I think, if I remember correctly, D-Dog, one of my old viewers, gave me this sort of like idea for my 1000th video, and that is to do the top 10 favorite videos of mine. So for this list, we're looking at my favorite videos. Now, I want to clarify, it's just going to be the videos. I'm not going to do my favorite streams because there's over what feels like thousands of streams I've done. I'm not going to do shorts because there's over hundreds of shorts. I've already done a top 10 kind of sort of shorts thing years ago. I'll have an annotation at the end of this video to go check that out. It's kind of old because there's still some old shorts on there and there's not any of the newer shorts, but still that classifies. This is just going to be, in my opinion, my own favorite videos, which is weird to say because I never really see my videos as my favorite videos. But this was kind of challenging to think of, like, what did I enjoy the most out of my videos, since there's over a slew of videos from this channel and on my older channel, my Prodigious AT channel. I looked at it from whether it was from a technical standpoint, from an entertaining standpoint, something along those lines that made me go, I'm happy with this video in some way, shape, or form, in some capacity. So without further delay, let's jump into this. At number 10 is my review of Revenge of the Sith with Ryan, aka Real Talk with Ryan. The reason why this one is my favorite is because this is technically my first collab I did with a movie reviewer. And it was just great to have Ryan on and kind of like collab with him and edit it together. I know the volume, I will admit, the volume is very quiet. I am very quiet. What I love the most is not only I, again, was able to work with Ryan on this and, you know, review Revenge of the Sith, because Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel out of the prequels, but I loved that I was able to get every little ounce and detail into this. Like, I wanted to make sure I had like specific notes I made and key things I wanted to mention that I felt satisfied with. I'm not happy with how I sound because I sound quiet like this, but I am very content with everything else outside of my own volume. I've collabed with people before on streams, but this was the first ever collab video I ever did, or at least on this channel. Number 9 is Why I Love Fantasmic, or I Love the New Fantasmic. There's no real reason other than I just got to just kind of go into a little bit of the history of Fantasmic and just talk about that Fantasmic is it's such a great show. It's such a great attraction at Hollywood Studios, and it's my favorite attraction at Hollywood Studios. Like, I know it's not a ride, it's not really an attraction, but I count it as one because it's still a show. It's still something that is viewed as entertainment. And I just love that I just got to talk about it a little bit. Not do it like in a review sense, but I just got to talk about more about it in depth. Number 8 is my MCU TV show ranking. I just liked the idea that I got to kind of like do like a tier list for the MCU TV shows. And I know it's not me face to face with the camera, but I just took a clip of me from a stream and I thought that was just the easiest way to upload a video of myself doing that. Number 7 is my Final Wars movie review. I just love Final Wars. It's my favorite Godzilla movie, and I don't get to really like go into a lot of Godzilla movies often, but it was just great to kind of just go into it, geek out a little, and just kind of go into a little bit of how many years it's been since this movie, and 20 years since this movie's been around. It was a blast. And number 6 is my Trick or Treat movie review. This was over on my Prodigious AT channel, and I will admit, it is a 30-minute, 20-minute review, but the reason why it's such a long movie review is because at the time I was first introduced and first started editing. And that's when I just started just putting clips together, showing images on the screen, transitions, showing the rating, showing the score, showing little things like that. This was the first time I ever decided to do a whole movie review and edit together, because I used to record on my laptop. I figured out the trick of I can record on my phone and edit better on my phone. and so it looks better in quality a little bit. It is super long. I do drag on with things. I do notice little like things I do that are kind of like a little, not cringy, but I kind of like, I look to the side, I get a little distracted, I go, I say things that I'm kind of like, I could easily have cut those out, but I like that I got to cover my favorite horror movie, and it was the first movie review I got to officially edit. In my defense, it was the first year I was doing YouTube, but at least now here I am, and how much I have at least somewhat changed and somewhat progressed. All right, we're nearing down my final 5 my list. At number 5 is hashtag MattPat for president. There's no real like deep meaning other than I just thought this was a funny little edit I wanted to put together. I know technically it has nothing to do with presidency, and no, MattPat is not running for president, but it's just the fact that he posted on his social media him going to Congress and making this big kind of like law or bill. Let's make this a thing. Let's make it a bill. With his caucus and all, I was like, it'd be so funny to use the Curb Your Enthusiasm like outro with the visuals provided. Number 4 is my top 10 Disney villains. There are so many top 10 like favorite characters of mine that I always wanted to kind of like, not dissect, but I always wanted to get into. And the Disney villains one was one I always wanted to do. I know there's like, we still have the Disney heroes and Marvel heroes and DC heroes and other top 10s I would love to do eventually at some point. But obviously those are taking a lot more time because of other things that are being more prioritized. This was one I was really just great to finally put together. We've done video game villains, we've done Dragon Ball Z villains, we've done Marvel villains, DC villains, the MCU villains, we've done all the villains, almost every villain related top 10 thing, but we haven't done the hero side of things, which is kind of funny. Number 3 is Centuries, the Supermen or super people. It's not my bread and butter, but I always have a soft spot for when I do certain edits. I have fun with those because I like meshing with clips from movies or TV shows or cartoons or video games and putting it in sync with certain songs that go in theme with the video or the story. This one is a prime example, having all the different super people throughout comic world and the comic universe that are kind of similar to have that Superman type-esque stature and quality. Of course, Superman, Sentry, Omni-Man, Homelander, etc. Having all these, basically all these like OP'd heroes, villains, whatever, in one video, and it just fits because we have a character named Sentry, and then we have the song Sentry. Little moments I liked here and there that matched so well with the song. I am not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I get very like proud, and I kind of take a little pride when I kind of like hit those nice little marks. And even in my reviews, I had hit those little marks too, but there's something about doing these little compilations or doing these little montages that I'm like, ooh, that was good. Huh. For my number 2, my number 1, this is where things get tricky, and this is where things not get dicey, but I was so torn on which 2 I wanted to really use, because both my number 2 and my number 1 spot, I could have swapped easily, but like I could have had my number 2 as my number 1 and my number 1 as my number 2. The thing is that both of them on a personal level I really love the most, but for different reasons. But I am very happy with the approach and with the drive that I am going with this video on why my number 2 is my number 2 and why my number 1 is my number 1. But at number 2, it is my comedian's tribute. I don't know why, but I wanted to do a little tribute to not just Bob Saget back in 2022, but I wanted to do a little tribute, a little montage to some of the other comedians that have passed over the years and throughout history. Unfortunately, through people like Robin Williams and Gene Wilder and John Candy, Jim Belushi, Joan Rivers. You get the latter. I have such a personal attachment to this because of how much effort and how much care I put into this video. Back when actors like Robin Williams have passed away, or people like, let's say, Prince or David Bowie passed away, I was not on YouTube, and not that I needed to say my 2 cents, but there were certain people that passed away before I started YouTube that I felt, not that I wanted to do a tribute, but when I started YouTube, it felt too soon to say something because it had been years since that person or said actor or said actress or said writer had died. So in a fortunate but unfortunate circumstance, I thought about doing a small thing for Bob Saget since people requested me to do something about it. So I also decided to add on people like Bernie Mac, added Richard Pryor, and other comedians that have just been in people's hearts and still are in people's hearts to this day. Now, before I unveil my number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Spider-Man story. This is back on my older channel, and don't worry, if you guys want to find these older videos, I'll have the link in the description of my older channel to go check them out. Let me know and I'll go check it out. Basically, this really nice personal story I shared about when I dressed up as Spider-Man at a park near me, and basically kids taking pictures with me and having like these nice funny interactions, but they were just funny, and I kind of like, it's a small little space that I just have in my memory. My top 10 Marvel villains. This was another list that I just like how I was able to put this together. Little fun little things like that. I like when the little dissolves happens, or when I slide things, or when I transition things. Sometimes I get a kick out of those. Let's go to Disney. This is a popular trend song that I found years ago, and I wanted to kind of like do it with a montage to like just the entire Disney World park. You guys pay attention, you look closely. You guys may or may not have seen perhaps me and my fiance appear in that video from a clip of maybe one of ours. I like the little montages I do. My first Q&A. We've done Q&As during my streams and having little Q&A segments, but this was my first ever Q&A video. And I'm glad that I got through it and I finally compiled questions. And if you guys want to leave questions for a Q&A, I will do another one. Videos like that first Q&A that make me kind of go, I wouldn't mind doing this again. My 100th video, which was basically me going on about the best villains of all time throughout movie cinema history. Now, granted, this was a video where I didn't edit and I recorded off my computer, and my computer doesn't really have the best like editing softwares. But I'm just happy that this was my 100th video, and now here we are with my 1000th video. And now, my top 10 video of mine is, drumroll please, our first vlog plus my vacation vlog. Now, the reason why these hold special place in my heart, more than the comedian tribute, is because, well, it was the first ever vlogs that I did to, not necessarily to Disney. I've done some in the past. I wasn't proud of those, if I'm being honest, because of certain elements and certain things at the time. Like my first vlog was on my older channel. We went to Galaxy's Edge. I wasn't proud of it because at the time of where I was, where my heart was at the time. And then there was vlogs I did after that I'm not proud of because, again, where my mind, my headspace was, my heart was. These ones, however, were where I felt the most comfortable. And not only that, but I feel like I got the most enjoyment out of doing these, and I got to include my fiance in these. I was happy to include her. I like kind of including her in videos, and I get a kick out of it because when she engages in the idea of like, let's do a vlog together, that kind of like makes me happy. And that's the thing, is that I look at those videos. I listen to them sometimes on my way to work. I listen to them and I watch them like on occasions. And I look at these and I go, that's my wife. That's someone I get to spend with for the rest of my life, for all eternity. And I get to do things like that. I get to, maybe we go and do like movie trips or whatever it may be. We'll maybe do whatever shit. We'll stream together. We'll do stuff that is off screen, that is more personal to our hearts, like going on dates, going to see movies, going out, just doing stuff, just being the two of us, having alone time, all these little things. And I just get to look at these and go, this is the one that I get to just spend everything with, and I spend my life with. And I'm so happy that it's her that I get to do all this stuff with. And those are my favorite videos of mine. So, what are your favorite videos of mine? I know this sounds narcissistic, but what are some of your favorites of mine? I am curious to know. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to Dawes videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every day, every week. share the video with family and friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll do as best as possible. January is definitely going to be a crazy start for us, but there will be things that I'll have going on while I'm off screen and off camera, but I'll have videos for you guys to check out. I'll have a channel update. I'll have all sorts of things, most anticipated of 2026. Everything will come full circle. But I do want to say one last quick thing before I go, guys, that like here we are, we're at 1,000 videos. After, I know technically I have like 100 something on my first channel, so technically this isn't really my 1,000th video, but this is my 1,000th video on here, and just being on this platform for 5 years, 6 years, and hopefully more years to come, and just how much I've progressed over the years, and how many of you have stayed, how many of you have come and gone. Whatever the case is, I am proud to be here because of myself and because of you guys. So honestly, with I know as sappy as this is, and I'll get off my pedestal right after this, but I seriously thank you all so much for this, because we're on this journey together, and you're getting to experience these things together with me. Little things like this that I'm glad for, and here's to 1,000 videos, and here's to maybe 1,000 more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next time.